In the Quran say that we all human used to be consumed the halal product. Why? Because we want our dua in every our salah except by Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. So not only product consumed by it, also by use. In 2014, when we want to buy a new machine from Taiwan, we are informed by the factory of the machine that the part of the machine is come from pig hair. We as Muslim at that time, we are very shocked. So I say to the factory, can you change the hair to another? Yes, they said they can. They changed to horse hair. So in that time, we try to find another indicator. Maybe also we are forget about the halal. So after that, in the textile industry, if we want to coloring the textile, after that we give the softener. So mostly the softener always there is always pig oil in that softener. So there is two parts, one in the machine, one in the raw material in the softener. So in these two parts there is non-halal product. So after that, in 2024, we change all, and the softener we should import from Swiss. Indonesia we don't have. So I agree with Mr. Ambassador that we have to innovate. So if we see the Iranian, also the Persian, we know they are very smart people. They can create drone, technology, electricity. I believe Iranian also can innovate with us together to create the softener without haram product. So that's why we want maybe discuss with the Iranian company. We can collaboration. We can create the innovative for halal modification. So we can produce together with Pakistan company. So we can export this product to all our ROC country for Muslim. So that's our experience about the halal modification, because the halal it's not only what we eat, also what we consume, what we use. So you can imagine what we use in our source, for example, there is non-halal product in there. So that's our concern. That's why our government, we have halal certification since 2015. So after that, our government see this indicator. So from there, in 2027 or 29, the model special should be also halal. So that's why I agree with Mr. Ambassador that we are Muslim also very big market. And now our people concerned about the halal. So that's why this is the great honor for me to sit with Mr. Ambassador from Iran, also from Pakistan. Maybe we can talk together with the Iranian company, Pakistan company, to discuss about it, and we do together and export together to Islam country. Maybe that's our concern, Professor. Thank you very much for Professor also. Now in-depth concern also for Sharia economy. Thank you very much, because Mr. Ambassador, if someone tell from in-depth about economy, all of Indonesia will believe. So that's why when in-depth from Professor tell about Sharia economy, halal economy, people will believe. And also our government will believe. So that's why thank you very much from in-depth to speak more about Sharia economy, and that's very meaningful for us. So maybe that's our concern. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Bapak. Let's give applause to Pak Pembawa. Okay, any question from the floor? Okay.
Okay, thank you. Excellencies, sir, good morning. Thank you for the opportunity. So thank you very much for all the explanation. Very insightful for all of us. So from what I get from the explanation is between Iran, Indonesia, and Pakistan, these three countries have their own very strong and excellent potentials. Kindly enlighten me, but so far these three countries only have relations of the economic in the bilateral relations level. So, is there any greater potential for these countries to have escalated relation to the trilateral relations? That's my first question. And then my next question is, what are the main barriers so far that we have for Indonesia, Pakistan, and Iran for the halal trade? And is there any practical step that could help with to strengthen this cooperation better to the future? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Ferdowsia, for this wonderful question. I know her personally because she works in the embassy of Pakistan. Let me also say that she is one of the best colleagues that I have ever had in my 35 years of diplomatic. So wonderful people to work with Indonesia. Now coming to your question, let's first talk about the opportunities that exist for cooperation among these three countries, Indonesia, Pakistan and Iran. Now together we are talking about three major Islamic countries. Indonesia 280 million people, Pakistan 250 million people, Iran another more than 90 million people. Together we are talking about a population of more than 600 million people. And the combined GDP of these three countries is more than $2.3 trillion. And also in terms of their geography, Indonesia provides this gateway to ASEAN, Pakistan and Iran, we provide this gateway to the central area, Pakistan to South Asia and to the Middle East. Now coming to the barriers. I think the first and the foremost barrier that we currently have is that we do not have harmonization of halal standards. So first we need to overcome this barrier of harmonizing our halal standards. And then we move on to the mutual recognition of halal certification in these three countries. And once we achieve that, then we move on to the next step of joint ventures, joint research, setting up halal industrial food processing plants. So all of these, I think with this, we can not only contribute to the economy, to the GDP of our three countries, but we can also contribute to the global halal economy if all these three countries can cooperate optimally. Thank you very much again, Osha.
Thank you very much for the question. We must look at the halal industries as an opportunity, not as a barrier. I think, nowadays there are a lot of problems for the Iranian companies to come to Indonesia for the food security that His Excellency President now mentioned several times that we are going to have the food security in Indonesia. But we always have this problem of that you have a halal logo or you don't have or something like that entering in the market. So, as I told you, when I was a child, I mean more than 50 years ago, we went to the restaurant, we went to the shops, and we never looked for any kind of halal logo. This is a very small cultural difference because even in Indonesia, I don't know because I was here around 30 years ago. When you go to the shops, it is not, at that time it was not the halal food, it was defined. It was the halal ones. You go to the shop, you can see the bobby section, it shows that we are signing the haram food, not the halal food. It's some kind of barrier in our culture that it prevents us to have more cooperation because when we send something from Iran to here, we know that it is halal. Everybody knows that in Iranian market you cannot find any kind of alcohol, beers, wines, everything, or any kind of pork meat.
or any kind of not, halal, what do we call that killing the animals, I don't know the Islamic ways. So it's very difficult for myself, for my government to have this kind of culture. But we are paving the way. You see that Iranian companies, around 10, 11 companies are here present here right now. And we have already signed the MOU between Iran and Indonesia. And also with Pakistan, we are brothers, we are friends, we are sharing borders. So we have the same culture, we don't have this kind of problem. But I hope that the Indonesian, Iranian, Pakistanis, Muslim world that is more than 57 countries, they reach to this point of agreement that they have cooperation in that regard. Because now that we have this kind of barriers, some other non-Muslim countries, we know which countries, they are making halal goods for us. Like China, like others, I don't want to name all of them. But even in some European countries, when they produce something, they put halal on that because they know that if they put halal on that, the market will be so bigger. So they put the halal logo on the products. We don't know. I don't want to question any kind of halal logos, but we don't know how do they do that. We don't know the procedure. If the procedure is suitable for Indonesia or Pakistan or Iran or not. But when a Muslim goes to the shopping and takes that and see the halal logo, does not matter who has put this halal logo. So we should have, as a Muslim countries, we should have better and closer cooperation in that regard with each other. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Okay, let's have the next questions.
Thank you so much, Excellencies. I have just one question from both Excellency ambassadors. So since we are in the D8 Halal Expo, my question is, what are your expectations for the Islamic organization, where D8 is not Islamic organization, but all of D8 members are members of the OIC, D8 and also OIC. What are your expectations for what they can do to bring forward this halal economy within the OIC countries or within the D8 countries, particularly, for example, like Excellency Ambassador from Pakistan said, the harmonization of standard, and later on for the mutual recognition of the halal standardization of each country, particularly for Indonesia, Pakistan, and Iran. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the good question. About the organization of Islamic cooperation or about there are very good expectations, there are very good figures that we are going to reach this point and this point in the near future, inshallah. I cannot expect anything. I can just hope that the cooperation goes very well. If everything is going very well, we will have a very better future in that regard. The figures show that the halal industry is going up and up. So if we work together closely, we can witness a very better situation in that regard. I hope that we work in our own countries for the halal culture. Even myself, that I mentioned that in Iran, it's very difficult to put the halal logo on some food that are not made of the oil or meat or I don't know beverages. Because for example, when you put halal on something, it does not mean it is only ingredients is halal. So there are other factors, like for example, the factor is not stolen, the money is not stolen, you have given the zakat, I don't know, all of that must be considered, but step by step. It is not something that today we expect from that. But in the future, I hope even for the halal governance and halal diplomacy. So that's what we expect from halal industry. Thank you very much.
Thank you Excellency for already answering this question and then so wonderfully answering this question. But when we talk about halal goods, when we talk about halal economy, it is very important to understand the whole ecosystem of halal economy. Halal goods start with the halal raw materials. And then not only the raw materials, but then also moving on to the machinery, as our friend was mentioning that peak here used in the textile industry. But then also we do not want to have a factory that has both halal raw material, has both machinery that is Sharia compliant. But then what if the factory is running on a loan that is interest based? So we talk about Sharia compliant financing also. But then if you have Sharia compliant financing, what about if the company's insurance is not Sharia compliant? And now luckily we have all of these. We have interest-free financing available, we have takaful, that is interest-free insurance scheme, we have the raw materials which are of course Sharia compliant, and then so we now have this whole ecosystem which is Sharia compliant. So it's important that we work on all of these. But in terms of the OIC's role, I think it is a very important forum from where we are speaking today, that is D8, because we are talking about the large 8 Muslim majority economy. So if these economies can work together, and then we can also of course expand it to the OIC, and not only then expand but can work simultaneously also. But again, as I said earlier, it is important that we go for joint research. It is important that we go for harmonization of standards. It is important that we go for mutual recognition of our halal certification, and then also investment is very important. I think especially given the geostrategic shifts that are taking place in the world, Muslim countries, some of the Muslim countries have huge financing available for projects within the Muslim world. So it is not only important to invest, but then to invest strategically. And I think Islamic finance, halal economy is one of the most important strategic financing that Islamic countries can make at the moment. Thank you.
Yes. All right. So I think before we conclude this session, I'd like to have maybe short statement as a concluding remark from your side and then
Thank you very much again. It's good to have such a wonderful audience. I am really impressed by the quality of questions that you people have been asking. And I look forward to working with all of you, and my best wishes to the organizer also for the remaining event. But my last word would be that, again, as I said earlier, halal economy is not only about religious compliance. It is about an opportunity. We are talking about economic growth, we are talking about resilience, we are talking about supply chain, we are talking about sustainable development. So it's a great opportunity that we must all try to avail. Once again, thank you very much for being such a wonderful opportunity.
yes.
Thank you very much. Very good remarks from His Excellency. I can add only, yes, I agree that previously we thought about halal industry only religiously. But now we can talk about that and we can think about that. We must think about that economically. Because you know that even in Indonesia previously the halal organization was under the Ministry of Religion. Now this is independent and under the presidency. So in Iran also we are thinking about that. The halal industry is not about quantity. It's not about only about Sharia. It's about how we are going to enter in the world economy. And also now we are talking about the quality. For example, I invite all of you to visit Iranian stall after this session, and you see that we have some industries here that they are working on the quality. For example, in Indonesia, average milking of a cow is 12 liters a day. But they have invented some ways that they can have 30 liters a day from a cow. So it's something that we are thinking of the quality, not only the quantity, and not only about the Sharia, about the global economy that we can enter in global economy with the halal industry. And I again thank my brother, His Excellency Ambassador, and also Professor Alligator that gave me this opportunity to be with you today, and also I thank you all that listened to my words. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much for this opportunity. First, if we hear from Mr. Ahmad Haikal yesterday from opening, he said that you are what you eat and what to add. You are what you soak. So if your socks not halal, please use the halal socks. That's the first. And then the second one, I also looking forward to have brothers from Iran and also from Pakistan to have a joint collaboration together in business. But first, and then after that we do business, we innovate together, we produce together, and we export together to wise market. The third one, please also see our website www.soka.co.id and also our Instagram soka_Indonesia. Please like and share. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, so brothers and sisters, now we have come to the end of the session. But before we end, let me express, our gratitude for your presence here, Your Excellency, and also our speaker from BT Soka. And of course, it is our pleasure to have all the panelists to speak and share their insightful discussions. And we hope also, to see more strong bilateral between Indonesia and Iran and also Pakistan, as we believe, the largest Muslim populations. Iran also is the Islamic State, and Pakistan also the same. So I think we have the same vision in terms of halal sector, and like we agreed that halal economy is not just about the Sharia compliance. It is more on how we play as a Muslim community, the aid community, to strengthen forward in terms of the bilateral in the halal economic sector. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for being with us today, and give applause once again to all the panelists. Okay, and then thanks very much, and I pass the message around. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you so much, Professor, and our distinguished speakers. Please remain on stage because we would like to present a token of appreciation. Please, you can stand up right now, and then we will also like to invite Mr. Ari Aprianto, Director of Social, Cultural Affairs and Strategic Partnership, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, to present a token of appreciation. Please, Mr. Ari, to come up on the stage. Please give the token of appreciation for our distinguished speakers. Give a big round of applause, everyone. The token of appreciation is symbolized gratefulness because we have our distinguished speakers right now and our moderator today for the insightful discussion, and then we have learned so much today. And once again, give a big round of applause for our wonderful speakers and moderators. And for Professor and all distinguished now you return to your seat. You may now return to your seat. Okay, thank you.
all the moderator and distinguished speaker for insightful discussion, and we have learned so much today. And ladies and gentlemen, talking about this event is hosted by D8 Islamic Economy, Halal Indonesia, strategic partner, Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Indonesia, Halal Product Assurance Organizing Body, National Committee for Sharia Economy and Finance.